What's going on,
Jerry,
Clarence? What's going on?
well, Jerry's finally all in. After not giving Mike McCarthy any help in his last season, he's finally all in. And here's a guy that wouldn't call Derrick Henry when Derrick Henry wanted to come to Dallas and play for the Cowboys. They didn't have the money or whatever else, the pie. It didn't fit right. But now they're finally all in, trying to put a winner on the field. They needed a receiver. They targeted a receiver in the draft. Well, actually, they needed a receiver for the last couple of years to play opposite CeeDee Lamb, but they tried to get Tedero McMillan in the draft. They tried to make trades before the draft. They couldn't get it done, but Jerry said he wasn't done trying to improve the position, and he did it with this trade with Pittsburgh for George Pickens after the draft.
Okay, so what you're saying is, what was this one of the trades that Jerry was teasing prior to the draft that was something substantive that he was working on? Was this it?
Yes. This is something that they had discussed prior to the draft, and then obviously they had targeted Ted, and when that didn't, when Ted went to Carolina and they took Booker, and they didn't take another receiver in the draft, and they went back to work looking to add to their weaponry, give Dak another weapon. And he talked about wanting to make the offense Dak friendly, and they needed to have a viable opposite weapon next to CeeDee Lamb, because it's been CeeDee Lamb and a bunch of maybes for the last couple of years. Ever since they let Amari Cooper walk, they really haven't had a viable number 2 receiver.
So listen, he couldn't be more talented, this kid. Obviously, Clarence. You've seen him play just like I have. And I'm sure you've heard what's coming out of Pittsburgh just like I have as well. There's a reason why somebody this talented in his last year of his contract was flipped out of town by the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are trying to at least roll out some sort of highly skilled weaponry red carpet for Aaron Rodgers as he's going through whatever he needs to go through to say yes to them. There's a reason why George Pickens was available for what Dallas gave up for him. Is there any concern in Dallas about that at all?
I mean, you have to come in with your eyes wide open. There's no question about that. Everybody knows his history. I mean, it's very public. Everybody knows Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin has done a good job managing personalities, and then when he lets you go, that they're a real problem. You can look at all the guys that have left and how they've acted out and done things, but understand this is a Cowboy team that invested in Dak Prescott. This is not a team that's trying to rebuild. They're trying to win now. You're paying Dak Prescott $60 million. You're paying CeeDee Lamb, $32 million. You need to try to win now. They're getting ready to give Micah Parsons the richest contract in sport, richest non-quarterback contract, excuse me. When you're putting that kind of money invested in these teams, in these players, it's about winning now, and it's not about, they've got a history of shopping at the bargain basement of free agents and really not spending money on outside free agents. But it's time for them to take a chance. I talked earlier about them not going after not Saquon, but Derrick Henry last year. They do a good job in drafting, but they need to supplement what they do in the draft by bringing playmakers in other ways, via trade, via free agency. They have to try to win now. In an offseason, you got rid of Mike McCarthy. Remember, you go 7-10, you get rid of Mike McCarthy. And listen, we love Brian Schottenheimer, but it's not a sexy hire. What can you sell the fan base? Dak is back, but what can you sell the fan base? You have to sell hope to the fan base that you're trying to win. You got to do more than sell tours. You got to sell winning. It's time to quit selling tours and sell winning out there. And it shows you that they're trying to win.
Clarence, I'm very happy about this trade, but of course you have the naysayers online who want to make fun that we did nothing the previous offseason. Now we make a big move, and now it's like, oh, well, he's a malcontent. He's this, that, and the third. What would you say to those people?
You can't have a room full of choir boys, okay? This is the NFL. It's a violent game. I remember Michael Irvin walking to the locker room, and we know Michael Irvin's history with those championship Cowboys. Said it's too many nice guys, and we need some edgy players, okay?
Some dogs.
And you got, great character guys in Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb as a guy, but you need somebody with some dog in you too. You need some players that got that dog in them, and obviously you got to be able to control them. He has to learn to control his emotion. Immaturity has been more of his issue. He's not a bad guy off the field. He's not. You don't have to worry about him getting in trouble with the law and things like that. He just gets emotional on the field. But you need somebody with that dog and really help put you over the top. And this is, again, we're talking about a big-time playmaker. If he didn't have those immaturity issues, he would have won in the first round coming out of Georgia. If you look at his career at Georgia, he was definitely one of the top receivers in that draft, one of the top receivers in college football. Look what he's done at Pittsburgh with some bums at quarterback. Look at the production he's had at Pittsburgh with some outright bums at quarterback. And without due respect. But, he hasn't had a top quarterback. Going back to Georgia, he's had a top quarterback. Dak Prescott's been the best quarterback he's ever played for. Mm-hmm. He's excited to play with Dak Prescott. One thing of note, he's in the last year of his contract. He's not forcing the Cowboys. He wanted an extension in Pittsburgh, but he's not forcing the Cowboys or even looking to get an extension. He wants to prove that he's a big-time playmaker so he can get paid in the offseason. So you have that carrot, that motivating carrot of a contract and life-changing money out there for him. So that should help him be better in Dallas emotionally and off the field. And maybe he was in Pittsburgh, obviously being around Dak and some of those other guys that they have, but that carrot of the contract is what they're also betting on.
Well, I mean, two things. First, Clarence, not to tell you, what to say or how to say it, but you can't call somebody a bum not once but twice and then say with all due respect.
Yes, I know. I got that from Keyshawn Johnson.
You gotta lead with the all due respect.
I know.
Call somebody a bum twice. You called them bums twice. You went in with one hand and you went in with the other hand.
Blame Keyshawn. I got that from Keyshawn because you're a Jets guy, right?
Yeah, Clarence.
Yeah, blame Keyshawn. He said, "Man, I played with some bums." He said, "I'm not Bugs Bunny. I can't throw it and catch it too." That's a Keyshawn line when he came to Dallas. And so I got that from Keyshawn.
I thought that was a Giselle line.
Keyshawn line.
Giselle got it from Keyshawn.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Without the all due respect either. So I guess I should give you at least that. You did say with all due respect, although belatedly. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.